So, I sent you one thing, just wanted you to get your opinions on it, because it's a very small thing with a big feud surrounding it, and it's CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and the bracelet that's been going around for months. So you watched the execution of this latest continuation of the story. What did you think of it?
Well, that continued the story, and they didn't rush through it. They gave it time for you to absorb what was happening, and he walked away. Then he came back. Drew McIntyre came back and beat him up again. Then it's about the bracelet and the bracelet is the one that his wife gave him, or he gave his wife?
No,
or what?
a fan made it for him. She presented him the bracelet, I don't know, at signing or wherever it was, and he just continued wearing it, and it genuinely is the bracelet that the fan made for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, amazingly, so whatever this fan's name is, she'll be, I don't know if she'll be over the moon to realise that, she's played a major part in the storyline, or at least inspired part of it.
But that is a believable part of the angle, because that makes it, that personalizes the angle, and angles do well when they're with personal issues. Now, Drew and CM Punk have had their problems, but this has actually gone on more than I thought it would go on.
Yeah, about 9 months now, something like that.
And that's the beauty in wrestling, because you can, and I think they tried to move away from it, or it appeared that they tried to move away from it and then came back, because fans don't forget. And I do really appreciate the tone of how they're booking this, or booking a lot of stuff, really, because it makes sense. Fans don't forget. And I think Punk and Drew McIntyre have had some good matches, and they could leave it, say, in the next pay-per-view and come back to it in 3 or 4 months. It may still have legs. So they're going to check that. So, and even in the beatdown that CM Punk took by Drew, it was kind of drawn out. What pisses me off about it, and I'm going to be a stickler here, is the agents, when they come in the ring, they don't do anything. They just say, stop it, stop it, stop it. But they never grab him or anything. I don't know why. But you would think of that if they really wanted him to get him off a guy, they would actually grab him, physically grab him, but they don't. They're just standing back and said, stop it, stop it, stop it. Like, if a guy's mad, that's not going to stop the guy. But I digress. I mean,
well, do you know what they need? They need to have Lance Russell in the corner saying,
yeah,
oh, come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Come on. What if Lance Russell had he had a stun gun?
Oh, you put it on the end of the microphone, like the other end of the microphone.
I'm tired of this crap. Oh, it'd been great. I love that. But I think that was before stun guns were invented. But I guarantee you, Lawler would love that. Lawler would book it, and he'd say, hey, take a stun gun, and he'd say, hit him with it. But they would forget to disconnect the electricity from it. So the guy got hit. So, hey, did you ever see the angle between Eddie Gilbert and Lawler and Eddie Marlin when the car ran over Lawler?
Yes. I think we covered it on this show quite a while back, but I think we actually watched it, yeah.
Crazy. And he really hit him with the car.
Oh, God, yeah, he was going way too fast. I think they agreed 10 miles an hour, and he hit him by like 25 or something.
I don't know if it, but the police came down there because they were watching it too. They came down there and checked it out. And see, that's the time when you can say, guys, come on. It's a show. He didn't really hit me with the car. Well, it looked like it to us he did, which he did. So, and they kept calling the stations, I think, that whole week, checking, some of their sergeants, and they were checking with that and see if they was going to do any more of that stuff. And if they were, they needed to be informed because they got a bunch of calls that day, the police, about checking out Eddie Gilbert running over Jerry Lawler with a car.
Well, that's a fairly big thing to feud over, is vehicular manslaughter. But I mean, a bracelet's a very small thing. But I sort of appreciate that for anyone with an idea of the history of wrestling. A lot of feuds would be over something really, really small, and it would just be trivial, really. But it's just a symbol for a bigger, a feud, something tangible.
But it makes sense, right?
It
because
does.
somebody can get mad over just a little thing that really means nothing in the total scheme of things. But didn't Drew McIntyre steal that from him and take it from him?
Exactly, that's the point.
And then CM Punk took it back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's progressed along.
Well,
I do like the art of story progression, and that's what they do. They do it well too.
I'm trying to think like some of the old school things that people used to feud over. Can you think of like the most trivial thing in wrestling that started a feud off? Because I know quite a few times, someone would stamp on someone's cowboy hat, and that would start a feud for 6 months, that kind of thing, over a hat. I seem to remember as a kid watching Bret Hart, PCO, Jean-Pierre Lafitte at the time, stealing Bret Hart's jacket. And that started a feud. And can you think of anything like sort of on like that level of triviality where a feud was built off on?
Not right off the top of my head, but a lot of things have sometimes it was just something that was said that could be taken two ways. The fans took it the other way too, or they can see the connection. And the guy, he just goes nuts.
But that's the art of it, though. That's the art of it, though. It doesn't matter what it is. If you sell it enough, you make it believable enough, then it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a bracelet, it could be a hat, it could be being run over by a car by Eddie Gilbert. It can be anything.
Well,
Be a belt, of course.